Hey guys, this week we talk all about our favorite part of different Vegas properties, a newly requested listener segment, and more, so stick around.
Welcome to the Crap Vegas Podcast.
Vegas, here we come.
Vegas!
Here are your hosts, Chris and Josh.
Hello everyone, welcome. It's episode number 91 of the Crap Vegas Podcast. I am Chris, he is Josh. Josh, what's going on?
What's going on is the Seattle sports scene.
That's what was going on 2 weeks
this past
ago.
weekend. I know, but it's never ending. This past weekend, we had an exciting Seahawks game. They lost to the Bucks in a terrible end of the... Did you see the interception to end that game?
I did not, Josh. For some reason, the Seattle Seahawks games are not on my local television. That's
I think
not
it
my
was
local
the
Fox
nationally
affiliate.
televised. I think it was the nationally televised CBS
Was it?
game, maybe? Yeah, I think so.
CBS,
Anyway,
huh?
our quarterback, Sam Darnold, threw the ball off of a defensive lineman's head, which ricocheted, and the other guy intercepted it, and we lost on a last-second field goal. Anyway.
I mean, that's pretty much par for the course for a Seahawks fan, though, right?
Pretty much, yeah. Went to Salmon Days this weekend. Do you know what Salmon Days are?
I'm going to assume it has something to do with fish.
It does.
Nice,
They
I
don't
nailed
cook
it.
them, although you probably can eat them. No, our little town has a kind of a street fair thing, with vendors and all that stuff. And it's time to the running of the salmon, or whatever you call it, up the creek. There's a fish hatchery at part of in this creek. And so the salmon all come back to spawn at the hatchery. And it's all about this time of year. So you go and you see the salmon swimming upstream, and there's thousands of them. And it's
Do you guys have like a bunch of bears standing at the top of the river?
Bears
like
do
jumping
come
into
down,
them?
lots of birds and, all sorts of any animals that come down and want the
Nice.
dead fish and all that stuff. Yeah, it's very exciting.
Oh,
Lots of
that
people
sounds
bring their
just
kids. And
Terrific, Josh. I'm so jealous of you.
I did learn, because I was talking to the docent or whatever, the person at the hatchery there, and for every 3,000 eggs, or I guess it's fry, maybe is what the baby salmon are called, that they release.
Okay.
So for every 3,000, only 2 fish make it back up the stream.
Wow. How
Yeah.
very, very interesting. Josh, I think I've only heard the word docent used one time before. It was on an episode of Young Sheldon when he became a docent at the Railroad Museum. Is that a word that you use quite commonly?
I don't know.
Okay.
On our FCV recording that we just did for the patrons, I said SU.
You did. Anyways, nothing crazy going on my side of the country. I don't know if you know, Josh, but Taylor Swift's new album just came out over the weekend. How exciting.
Diary of a Showgirl, something of a showgirl, life of a showgirl.
Life of a Showgirl. Not as good as her usual work. I was not as impressed. Even my kids were not as as impressed as they usually
Did they
are.
like the Tortured Poet one?
They liked it. I mean, I think the problem is, and I had this discussion with my daughter, and this is actually what I was getting to, is, there's this thing when you're a musician, especially when you're a songwriter, you do your best work when you're in pain.
Oh,
whether
I know where you're
whether
going,
you're
yeah.
hooked on drugs or,
Right.
in Taylor's case, when she's searching for love and just can never find it, every man cheats on her. That's when your best work comes out.
Mhm.
Once you get married or about to get married and your life is happy, your work just turns to crap.
It does.
I just think that's what's happened with Taylor. She's happy now and nobody gives a crap anymore when you're happy. I always talk about Dave Matthews, same thing with him. When he was hooked on drugs when he was young, the music was amazing. Now that he's married and has kids and there's butterflies everywhere, the new stuff is just garbage and I don't even listen to it. So I think Taylor has been plagued by happiness, Josh.
I think you're right. The analogy, as you're saying that, Chris, is it's kind of what happens to both men and women when we get married or find a partner. Our bodies just, we give up caring. It's kind of the same idea.
We put on a bunch of weight.
You don't have to
and
work
just-
for it anymore.
And it just all falls apart. And I think that's what's happened here. I even took my kids to see her, the new album in theaters, Josh. I don't know.
Right.
I didn't know that was a thing, but I guess
Me
it
either.
is. And they didn't have a great time. And they are huge Taylor Swift fans. So I don't know.
We went to see Fish. We did something educational and
That was good. Yeah. No, that was much better. But anyways, Josh, other than that, nothing crazy going on here. But I can't believe it took you this long into the episode without saying it. But this is a time paradox episode where we will be in Vegas as this episode releases.
Time travel. Since my first day on the job as the Starfleet captain, I swore I'd never let myself get caught in one of these godforsaken paradoxes. The future is the past is the future. It all gives me a headache.
I totally forgot.
I was shocked that you didn't say anything. Usually you jump right in with that.
Let's see. So Sunday morning, you will be, when this episode releases to everybody except our early bird patrons, you will be where on set? We'll be at the dice table, right?
we'll be at the dice table still when this is coming out. So you
Yeah.
guys better hurry on down and find Josh and I. We're going to be down there for some coffee dice. We will have already gone to Starbucks. It will be a great morning.
Unless you have already eschewed Las Vegas and went home, gone home.
Now here, Josh, here's the only question I have. Yeah, very good use of that word again.
Thank you.
Here's my only question for you, though, leading into the weekend. We're obviously going to know the answer by the time this episode comes out. But at this point, Sunday morning, 6 a.m., how many combined royal flushes will we have had?
Ooh, I'm going to say...
Over, under, a half.
Oh, over.
You think so?
Yeah, I'm taking the over on that.
I like how people go their whole lives playing video poker and don't hit a royal flush. And now you and I have decided on every single trip we at least have to hit
You want to
one.
put some money on it?
How would we do that? Like
I don't
on
know.
you hitting one and not me not
No,
you?
just
or
the over-under. If you're taking the under,
Who would we pay if we lost?
if I take the over and I win, you pay, no matter which of us got the royal. If you take the
I got
under
you.
and
I
you
got
win,
Okay, Josh, so I'm sure we're having a great time, but let's tell people how to get a hold of us.
yes.
Okay, you can send us an email. That is podcast@crapvegas.com. Join us over on our Facebook group. It's crapvegas.com/Facebook. We'd love to have you join us on Twitter.
X.
He's at Vegas Duffy. I'm at Small Whale 13, or the show page is at Crap Vegas. Or we would absolutely love to have you join us over on Patreon. That is patreon.com/crapvegas. We offer a 1-week free trial. We always have a bunch of goodies over there. Come join us.
We would love that.
Previous episode feedback, Josh. We got an email from Joe. Joe said, "Hey guys, a huge fan of the show and all the Patreon extras. In the last episode, you touched on 2 things that resonated with me. So let's take these one at a time. First, the conversation about influencers filming around you and how annoying it can be. A few months ago, I went over to Rio and played craps. There was one open spot at the table directly next to a gentleman who was standing to the stickman's left-handed side. However, I could not really take that spot because he had his phone propped up on a tripod filming the game while he was giving commentary. Not to mention he had several backpacks and bags on the floor, completely taking up the spot next to him. I tried to politely squeeze in, hoping he would slide some of his belongings over, realizing how much space he was taking up after a roll or two. I finally said, 'Is this all your stuff? Would you mind moving it?' He begrudgingly slid it over about 6 inches. Needless to say, it was a less than enjoyable experience, other than the fact I did make a couple $100. I was a little taken back by the casino staff allowing this. I know the Rio loves influencers. It needs all the help they can get, but this experience pretty much ensured I will never go back. And my original reason for the trip over there was to take advantage of the good blackjack rules, but of course the high limit room is apparently never open unless you reserve a table in advance."
Ooh, interesting. Well, Joe, thanks. I haven't had a situation where I've had somebody filming like right next to me or at the table I was at. The only ones I think I've seen are the ones in the slot rooms with slot, influencers doing that. But I can't even imagine how annoying I think it would be, unless I was a participant, obviously, in the filming. But if I was just trying to play at a table and somebody was filming it, I think I'd be really uncomfortable. Probably either say something or leave.
And yeah, Josh, we obviously don't do it, but at least in my experience, when people record at table games, especially craps, they're usually wearing one of those like pocket cameras or like a
secret
GoPro
glasses,
on,
or right.
or like GoPro that's strapped around their waist and, like
Right.
on their chest and filming forward. It's rare that you ever see a camera like actually sitting on a table, unless we're talking about like a blackjack table or something. And people are doing that like El Cortez or something.
I think some of the ones, the more, at some of the ones at the Cal downtown and things that at least I see online, they're filming like they've got setups. They've got real setups.
Oh, yeah, no.
And so,
Yeah, I mean, I know people are going much further than they used to. And yeah, some casinos are okay with it, some not. And I get it with the Rio. They're trying to get everybody they possibly can there. So sure, be social friendly and recording friendly, but you can't let it impact other players with stuff like that.
Yeah. No, I it's not my thing. I don't want to do it. I don't want to be a part of it, really.
Yeah, same here. Okay, he said, secondly, you were talking about crap strategies and players who regress. I am somebody that is very interested in different systems. I understand if a table is hot, you're going to win. And if it's not, you're going to lose. But nonetheless, I find it fun to try to play different ways and see if I can maximize wins and minimize losses. One strategy I've grown pretty fond of is a more aggressive variation of the Iron Cross, at least to start. I place $60 on the 6 and 8, then $20 in the field. I realize I'm exposed on the 5, but I think the reward outweighs the risk. Once I recoup my initial investment, which is approximately 3 field hits or hitting 1, 6, or 8, I will then go to 54 across And for the rest of the roll, I will press, then collect, and then press. And he'll just keep alternating, Josh, as the whole roll goes on. Obviously, I've just explained the strategy to a $10 table. If you're playing higher tables, just do some sort of simple multiplication to figure out the betting amounts. Curious if you've seen this played or would even consider playing something like this. Keep up the great work, Joe. So, Josh, what do you think about a strategy where you start off on the Iron Cross and then expand across and see if you can collect and press as you need to?
I don't mind that strategy at all if you're into kind of changing around and seeing what's kind of fitting either the table energy or what you like to do that day. I think that's absolutely fine. It's not probably something that I would do. I mean, maybe I should try more variants other than just playing across and see if I like it. Maybe I'll give it a shot.
I'm just a creature of habit. I just don't switch on almost anything I do when it comes to gambling. So if I have a strategy I like, I just keep going with it. I know it's not a great strategy. Like, if you're asking me of all the different ways to play, is playing across a good way to play? I would say for 90% of people, the answer is no. It's not a good way to play. It is extremely high variance. And when you lose big and quick. So you don't even get the fun of playing at a table for a long period of time. But I'm just one of those people that I want to win big or win lose and move on. I don't want to be anywhere in the middle. I mean, it's great to push when you can sometimes, but I need that high variance to be really enjoyed by the way I play. Just like Josh, I would play Powerball or Mega Millions every once in a while if the number gets really big, even though it really doesn't matter if it's huge or not. But I would never, ever, ever play like a pick 3 or a pick 4 or the max prize is like $1,000 because I just do not care.
No, I'm with you. And to Joe's point, I mean, any sort of Iron Cross-ish type strategy is going to prolong your time at the table. And so if that's what you're going for and if it's fun for you, absolutely.
I agree. We got a follow-up email from Dan. Dan said, just listened to the new show and was pleasantly surprised to hear myself. Great feedback that I'll keep in the back of my head. But Josh, this was talking about his question of playing in high-limit slot rooms without status. And we actually got a couple messages about his question that we answered last time, because I guess I misunderstood what he was even asking. Specifically because I don't live in this part of the country. But it turns out in the Northeast, specifically in Atlantic City is where a lot of people tell me, that they actually have a security guard in front of the high-limit room to check your status before you can go in there.
Which is kind of nuts, in my opinion.
I agree, especially when you're talking about in Vegas when they have to make all gambling open to everybody, even those high-limit rooms and stuff. But Josh, I guess I never thought about it because it's never come up in my experience before.
Yeah, and I just find that hard to, it seems to me if you're the casino, you have the potential of losing a lot of money. I mean, if I wanted to spend $5,000 in the high-limit room, you theoretically would want to let me in.
Yeah, I would think so. You would think it's just driven by cash, but clearly it's not. But if you're asking about in Vegas, I don't know of any high-limit room that cares what your status is. You can be a homeless man off the street, or you can be the highest tier status that they offer. They're all going to let you come right on in, and they can't even stop you from taking the cookies.
they can't. But that's really interesting, Dan, and sorry that Chris missed your point. I blame Chris entirely for it.
Okay, Josh, so every property in Vegas does some things really well and some things kind of poorly. And you and I were having a conversation recently about this very topic, so we figured, why don't we share some of our thoughts with the masses? So for this week's episode, we are going to run through some of the properties and discuss what we think is the absolute best feature that each property offers. And I know for this week, we said there's just so many properties in Vegas, Josh. Why don't we start on the Strip and work our way out?
Yes, and this is going to be, and you might not believe it with Chris, but this is going to be an entirely positive conversation. There will be no negatives. This is just our favorite or the best.
I mean, it could be a passive-aggressive positive comment.
No, there's not going to be any. You can't
time,
say, my favorite part of Sahara is leaving. You can't say that.
I guess I need to adjust my list a little bit then. Okay, Josh. So I made a list of all the Strip properties that I thought we'd talk about. Start on the south end of the Strip, just work our way forward. And if we have time on another episode in the future, maybe we'll get to off-Strip properties in downtown.
And before we start, as we're kind of going through our favorite parts or the best parts that we think of these properties, think about it. If you want to send us what you think is the best part of something we missed,
yes, absolutely. And a lot of these places I haven't been in a while, Josh. So maybe there's some things that I'm forgetting.
Yeah, you're going to pick some stuff that's not there anymore. If you pick the Spice Market Buffet for Planet Hollywood, we're in trouble.
That was number one on my list, so I guess I'll scratch that now. Okay, let's start off with the furthest point down south on the Strip that we're going to talk about, Josh. And I'm not talking about like M Resort or any of those other properties that don't really count as on the Strip.
Museum.
Yeah, no, let's talk about Mandalay Bay. Josh, when I think of Mandalay Bay, the number one thing that comes to my mind as a positive is their absolute massive pool area that they have with the real sand beach.
I think that is absolutely positive. I went a different direction. In fact, that one didn't even cross my mind because pools in general don't cross my mind. I went to the aquarium.
Oh, I had the aquarium as
yeah.
we'll call it an honorable mention that I was going to throw out there if you didn't. But both of those things seem like big draws down there. You know, there are tons of people that are massive pool people, or maybe they have the kids with them and they want something exciting to do. The aquarium is always fun to go to.
It is.
So next on my list in the MGM family, Josh, we have Luxor. What do you have as their best thing that they offer?
I think are we saying best or favorite? Maybe it doesn't matter. But my favorite part of Luxor is the shape of the property. It's
mine
pyramid.
too.
Is it? All right.
I mean, the pyramid design and just general, theming that they have there, I think that is what makes them special. They used to have the laser beam shooting out super bright. That was really cool. They kind of still have it, but it's really fade. It's not as good as it used to be. But yeah, for me, Josh, it's just the whole, I go in there and I'm literally in a pyramid. That's really cool.
Yeah, it's cool from the inside. It's cool from the outside.
Absolutely. So moving up slightly further north, no matter what Josh says, Excalibur. And Josh, I'm on the same line here. When I think of Excalibur, the first thing that comes to my mind is something they do really well is just theming.
That is a good one. I went kind of similar, but a little more specific. I went with the always can't miss, and I mean it, Tournament of Kings.
Oh, I like that. Yeah, I haven't been to that in probably 10, 12 years at a minimum. We even talked about going sometime recently, and we just didn't make it over. I don't know what it is with the MGM properties, but next up on the list, MGM Grand. Josh, what do you have as your favorite thing?
My favorite thing for the MGM Grand is the lion. It's going in, used to be through the lion's mouth, or I guess kind of technically under, but just the big lion at the entrance is my favorite part of the MGM Grand.
I think Josh, I'm not a huge MGM Grand fan, so it's really hard
to say negative.
I'm not going to say anything negative, but I am going to say that my favorite part of MGM Grand is Topgolf.
Okay, yeah, kind of.
Do I get credit for that?
No, I don't think so.
I mean, it's adjacent, part of it.
No, I don't think so.
It's part of MGM Grand.
You got a restaurant or anything you really like at MGM Grand?
No, not really.
Okay, we
don't
can
like
go
playing
Topgolf.
there. Don't like the design. But Topgolf, yeah, Josh, I played that recently. It was a lot of fun. So give me Topgolf at MGM Grand.
Fair enough.
Moving on, we got New York. This one for me was extremely easy. I absolutely love the Greenwich Village food area that they have at New York, with the cobblestone street area.
Yep.
I think that is some of the coolest stuff that you see in Vegas, and an honorable mention to the roller coaster.
I think that I thought about the roller coaster as my favorite part of New York, but I went Shake Shack.
Okay.
I don't know if that technically counts.
I don't think you can make fun of me anymore then for using Topgolf on MGM Grand.
Mine is closer.
That's true, slightly. Okay, moving further north, Josh, we have Park MGM, which includes Nomad. And I think for me, the number one thing is always going to be the fact that it's non-smoking. It's something that makes them vastly unique compared to a lot of Vegas properties. It's what I think of when I think of Park MGM immediately. There's a lot of things that they do that I don't love, but the fact that they're non-smoking is a huge positive for me.
That's my favorite as well. That's exactly what I had on my list.
Okay, we move up to one of your favorite places in Vegas, Josh, Aria. What do you have as your favorite thing at Aria?
Well, I had a couple possibilities. I had Sky Suites or I had the Cave, and I went Sky Suites. Sky Suites, Aria, easy, hands down, my favorite part of Aria.
Okay, now I had Sky Suites as well. That was an easy choice, but I'd like to hear more about the Cave being your favorite part, because the Cave isn't even my favorite high-limit slot room there.
You like the other slot room better. It's just my favorite part. I don't know. I just like it. I like that kind of closed-in feel. I like that it's there aren't straight lines in it. You kind of wind around through the machines. There's just something I kind of dig about playing in there.
Okay, I got you. They got that little hidden bathroom with a TV in a weird place heading down that hall.
It is just a funky space.
It is. The only thing I don't like about it is, as somebody that only really plays slots when somebody else is with them nowadays, I usually don't play slots at all now if you're not there.
Oh, I know what you're saying.
It's a hard room to play together because the machines are kind of offset from one another, which is great to give you privacy. But if you're trying to play with a friend, it makes it much more difficult. And at least in their other high limit room, they are traditionally right next to each other, so it's easier to see.
Yeah, that's a really good point.
Oh, and I'll also point out, Josh, that your favorite high limit video poker machine is in the other high limit.
It's in the one you
there.
like, right?
It's not in the Cave.
Aria has so many. I mean, we're not spending the whole time raving about each property. We're just picking the one. But Aria really does have a lot of things I could pick for like my favorite parts of it.
Yeah, like I can't believe you didn't say Moneyline Pizza.
That crossed my mind. Poshberg crossed my mind. Carbone, all sorts of the spa.
Okay, Josh, what about Vidara? For me, it's not a place that I've stayed more than I think twice in my whole life, but I did say that my favorite part about it is just the room size itself. You get such bigger rooms over there because they're not trying to squeeze everything in on top of a casino.
I went kind of the same route. I didn't say the room size, but I went the room amenities. So you have more of the apartment feel to it. If you want to stay at Vidara, you have the non-smoking, you have no casino, but you have rooms oftentimes that I think maybe all have washers and dryers and full-size refrigerators and, stuff like that.
Great point. I feel like the next one is as easy as it gets, Josh. We're still in the MGM family here. We are at the Cosmo. What do you have?
Well, pretty easy. I imagine you're there too. It's the balconies.
Absolutely. It's the most defining feature that they have as a property. It's what sets them apart from everybody else other than Paris's new Versailles Tower, just really Bally's, but whatever.
Right. Yeah, I mean, you could argue chandelier bar. You could argue
I could see that.
Vermina. Was that what it is? The drink?
Verbena, yes.
It was close. Lemon verbena, whatever it is.
See, I would think you would know that, Josh, because that drink is right up your alley.
It probably is, but I haven't gone to the chandelier bar much.
Okay. Well, and if you do go, it's kind of hard to get a seat there to play any video poker. I can tell you that.
Yeah, that's what I found out. Anyway, it's the balconies. Easy.
Okay, Josh. Last MGM property that we're going to talk about, Bellagio. Boy, this is a hard one. Bellagio has a lot of things that it's good at.
And I had two, but I'm going to pick the go-to, which is probably your go-to. You can't say the best part of Bellagio is anything other than the fountains.
Josh, I'm going to fight against you here and say that I actually went with the conservatory on this one.
Oh, you know what's funny, Chris? I didn't even think of that. I had two things that I put on my favorite, leapt to mind for Bellagio. One is the fountains and one is the craps table location.
Yeah, it is really good for a craps table location. And Josh, I thought about the fountain, but I feel like it's one of those things that once you see it once, I have no desire to I got to go look at it
That's
again.
True. Whereas the conservatory
but the
is
conservatory
always changing.
Every quarter is constantly changing. If I went into my photos on my phone from Las Vegas, I guarantee that the one thing I have the most photos of over time is the conservatory at Bellagio.
Yeah, me too.
Okay, we're moving over to the Caesar side of things.
Ooh, it seems. Caesars.
Continuing on further north, Josh, Planet Hollywood. What do you have as your favorite thing at Planet Hollywood?
That's a tough one, Chris. There's a couple possibilities, but I went with the Pleasure Pit as my favorite part of Planet Hollywood.
That, Josh, I do like that. I mean, it is. The bad part is if you're a player in the Pleasure Pit, it's not great because that means you're getting 6-5 blackjack.
Yeah, the gambling odds are terrible.
Probably getting 000 roulette. I don't know. I don't play roulette, but I'm going to assume that's the case. But it is something that is pretty unique for them that other places didn't offer, especially when they first started offering it. And it really is kind of fun. Josh, I went along the same thing. I said just vibes and location. If you want to put those two things together, I think they are slightly different. The vibes inside that property are just so cool. And yes, I'm not really the intended age anymore. When I first started going there, I was. But even if you don't like that, I think their location, I don't think there's a better location on the Strip. And especially when you're talking frontage to the Strip, because you can get out there so quickly and you just walk out and you're on the sidewalk.
Yeah, that's actually, we're going to talk about one of those later on as my favorite part of a certain property. But that's absolutely right. If we were talking about things that used to be our favorites, we would have the Toll House Cookie Place.
The Toll House Cookie Place. Yeah, absolutely. Miracle Mile Shops. Because they get credit for that. Okay, Josh, heading slightly further north, we have Paris, Las Vegas. And for this one, it was clear for me because it's the only thing I really like about it, location.
For me, it's the walk, the promenade from Paris to Horseshoe. I like that feel. I like the feel.
Okay.
It really does make me feel almost like I'm in Paris. Like I like the cobblestones and that whole, I like the vibe.
Same thing with me, like when I was at New York with the cobblestone streets there.
Right.
Like, yeah, I gotcha.
Yeah,
Makes
just the whole
sense.
thing feels like Paris to me.
Okay, then what about Horseshoe Las Vegas, formerly Bally's? What do you think, Josh?
I'm going to go with, this was a tough one for me, but I'm going to go with the World Series of Poker, shrine.
That's what I said.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's what I had. I mean, they really don't have anything else that's really unique about them. Their location's not the best because it's so far off. I don't think gambling's very memorable there, honestly. But the fact that they host the World Series of Poker now and they have the shrine and everything, I think that is pretty darn special.
It is. And they've done a good job with it.
Okay, moving on, Josh. We have Flamingo Las Vegas, a place that I used to visit all the time. And this was very hard for me, but I'm going to say the neon out front is the best feature of the property.
Yeah, this was tough for me too. The first thing that popped in my head with Flamingo was Jimmy Buffett's, and that's not even there anymore.
Yeah, I don't think that's there.
Nope. So I actually went the same thing you did. I went with the neon sign. It's famous. It's kind of, old school Las Vegas. It's one of those few things that's still there from that time.
Yep.
And I really like it.
Yeah, I'll give an honorable mention to just their flamingo exhibit as well, so you can see, real life flamingos.
The real flamingos, right.
But other than that, no, it's a pretty awesome place. Next up, Josh, my second old favorite property that I used to stay at almost every time I came to Vegas, the Cromwell. What is it for you?
Well, Chris, this is maybe one of your little passive-aggressive things. My favorite part of the Cromwell is how small the casino floor is. And
Okay.
I don't necessarily mean that in a bad way, but you can go from down on the strip, you go down those few stairs and you're in the casino area and you can get back to the cage and out the back of the casino in like 2.5 minutes. If that.
Yeah,
Right.
and you're always no more than 1 minute away from the cashier.
Right. So it's that compact size.
Yeah, the boutique size, I think, is just, I really do like that, Josh, and I almost picked that, but I had to go with Dre's. Josh, it's one of my favorite clubs in Vegas. As a big hip hop lover, it's just the place to be. And you got Dre's After Dark downstairs if you want to lump them together.
I think Dre's is leaving, though. You're going to lose your favorite part.
It is, and I hate that that's going away. But Josh, when I think Cromwell, I think Dre's and all the fun evenings I've had there.
Yep, that's true.
Okay, continuing in the Caesars family, we have Caesars Palace, Josh. So many things that they do well. I couldn't think of any of them, but I did come up with one that I thought I should list, the Bacchanal Buffet. For
Not
me,
necessarily what they do well. It's your favorite.
yeah, that's my favorite thing there is the one thing that I don't usually like very much, buffets, but I do think the Bacchanal Buffet has so many different options. If I had to pay for it, I'd probably feel a little bit differently, but it is an amazing buffet and I understand why people love it so much.
Yeah, that's a good one, Chris. It didn't actually even pop into my head as my favorite part of Caesars. My favorite part of Caesars was pretty obvious to me. It's the original gambling dome thing where the table games are, the old school. Yeah, that to me is still just, when I think of Caesars, that's my favorite part.
Oh yeah, who doesn't want to play in there with the surly dealers that hate all people and just, it's great.
And I remember, we're not specifically talking like forum shops, but I remember going to the forum shops the first time and being just blown away by the non-straight escalators, the rounded escalators.
No, I got
thought
you.
that was super cool.
I will give an honorable mention to the Coliseum. It is a pretty cool space to see a show.
Yes.
They've had some amazing acts come through there. So
Yeah.
that would be an honorable mention for me. Okay, Josh, the Link. Everybody loves the Link. And it tells you how much I love the property because my favorite part is not inside, it's the Link Promenade.
This is actually the MGM Grand situation again.
Exactly. It's exactly what this is.
Well, funny enough, you mentioned that, Chris. I was going to tongue-in-cheek say the elevators from the old Imperial Palace days, but I actually went with the same thing you did, the promenade.
Yeah. It is a cool space outside. When I used to stay at Planet Hollywood a decent amount, I would walk down to the Link Promenade to grab some lunch every once in a while. I've never done the zip lining there because I think that's a little bit silly, but they do have some good stores there, some good restaurants. It's a cool looking space. I understand why people like it so much.
Yeah.
Now, have you ever gone on the high roller?
I have not. I had to think about if I had gone on the high roller. I have not gone on the high roller. Have you?
I have not either. Maybe we need to do that
that's a
together
Crap Vegas
someday.
thing. Yeah, if I can't get you in the gondolas with me, we can make out in the high roller.
We'll get some listeners to come. We'll rent out our own pod or whatever they call it and do open bar for
I think we
everybody.
get drinks in there, right? Yeah.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I think we should do an open bar for our listeners one time when we're in town.
I like it.
Okay, we'll set that up. Okay, what about Harrah's Las Vegas, Josh? For me, I had a real difficult time coming up with something that I would find as the best feature of the property, but I did say that it really has a really good laid-back vibe there. It feels like the clientele's slightly older. Everybody's calm. You don't have all these bros running around causing problems.
It's true.
It's just a pretty cool space. Matt King used to be there, so that's what I used to say was my favorite part about Harrah's, but he's gone now.
Right.
So I'm going to go with the laid-back vibe.
Well, I went maybe a slightly similar direction, but this is kind of hinted at it on somewhat a while back. It's the in and out access. It's the fact that you can get to the casino floor from the strip,
right?
Yeah, not In and Out Burger. It's that you can get to the casino floor from the strip in like half a second. It is just literally right there, which is really cool. If you're walking down the strip, you can go in and get air conditioned through Harrah's. Maybe air conditioning is the best part of Harrah's.
Maybe. I will say I've never really thought about it like from a property perspective at all, but it really feels like that's one area that Caesars has a huge head up over MGM properties. It feels like all their properties are set so far back from the strip behind things, and even the ones that you can enter like immediately. If we're talking about like walking into Park MGM, you probably have to go through Italy to actually get where you're trying to go to or things like that. And with Caesars properties, Cromwell, Paris, Planet Hollywood, Harrah's, you just walk right in.
Right.
Okay, moving along, Josh. Treasure Island. This one was very easy for me. They have the absolute best table games on the strip.
Actually, I went with that too, really by virtue of you. That kind of is my favorite part, just having played there. But it's been a while since I've done much at Treasure Island. But I know you rave about that. So that's what I had down to.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, your favorite home base, Josh, Venetian Palazzo. What do you think is the best thing that they offer?
Well, so I think we should separate Venetian and Palazzo.
Okay,
Because I have
my
my favorite part of Venetian is going to be the Grand Canal.
Okay.
And the gondolas, and that whole, the ceiling.
So
and
why
the
does
St.
Venetian
Mark's.
get credit for those when it's in between?
Well, because somebody has to.
So it just conveniently works out in this scenario for you so you can say two things that you really like
Well,
about
and it was
Venetian
there
Palazzo?
before Palazzo was there.
Okay, I got you.
You had the Grand Canal before you had Palazzo.
Go ahead then.
So-
What do you have for Palazzo?
For Palazzo, I have the High Limit Bar.
Okay,
my
that makes
favorite
sense.
part.
It
Yeah.
is really a good space there that you and I both tremendously love.
We may
I
be
will
there now.
say, that is true. I will say that Venetian, I like their high limit, like slot room area behind it better when it comes to like snacks and bathrooms.
Yes.
Because Venetian has their own little setup for drinks where you can always get a water and cookies. And I mean, they have all sorts of, they have croissants in the morning. They have better
Right.
bathrooms behind it. Palazzo's high limit space is a little bit tighter. They do have some snacks and stuff, but Josh, it's like right next to the slot machine.
Yes.
In the middle of everything. Yeah, I don't like that as much. But when I'm thinking about Venetian Palazzo, I combined them together just to make it easy. And I think that absolutely what they do better than everybody else is food options. Venetian
Oh,
Palazzo
yeah.
has more food options throughout. I mean, especially if you're including the Grand Canal shops, but they just have so many different terrific quality
They
restaurants
do, really.
of every genre of food you could ever want. And whether we're talking super high end or just like moderate high end, you
or
got a
even
really
like
nice
Johnny
Italian.
Rockets type thing. Or,
Yeah, and they got all that stuff. They have the new food court that they just built over at Venetian, so now they have all those options there. I mean, just all the restaurants that run in between Venetian and Palazzo, Yardbird and
Mhm.
Delmonico and Grand Lux Cafe, just so many options.
Right. Yeah, that's good. Their food is a good one there.
Okay, do you want to separate Win and Encore, Josh? Is that what you
Absolutely,
wanna
I do.
Okay, so tell me, what is your favorite part about Win?
My favorite part about Win, there were so many choices, Chris, but I went with the best part, my favorite part about Win, room service. The room service menu, room service
Oh,
food.
interesting.
Yeah, because when I
see?
think of, yes, nice rooms, great dealers, Rick and Liz and Jay and all those people. But for me, I love Wynn's room service. And even if I had a Planet Hollywood room, if I had Wynn's room service, that would be just I would just be die happy.
Okay, I gotcha. I didn't separate these, but I'm going to do it in my head right now. And if you made me pick one thing at Wynn that I think they do better than everybody, it's the best part of the whole place. Yes, I would love to say table games dealers because they are the best. But I think even higher than that on my priority is I would say when it comes to Wynn, their level of service is just head over heels better than anybody else in Vegas. It's not even close. The service from everything, whether it is room service or it's the front desk or it's their drivers, their dealers, cashiers, their level of service is completely unmatched.
I can't argue with you there. That is a wonderful part of Wynn. Now, to separate Encore, and this is really the reason I wanted to separate, you've got the fact that there are windows and the pool so close at Encore.
Yeah, and if I had to pick something for Encore, Josh, that's different than Wynn, I would say having that ability to look outside and see through the windows. You got that pretty bar right behind you at the craps table that looks outside onto the pool area.
Usually pretty people at the pretty bar.
There's a lot of pretty people walking through. Yes, that is by far their best feature. Moving on, Josh, we have Resorts World Las Vegas. For me, I said the high limit area. I think that they have a really nice high limit room there. They have some slots, not a ton in there, but the room itself, it's bright, it's open, it's airy. They have craps tables in there, Josh. I don't know what else you could possibly want. Great bar, good drinks.
Well, Chris, I went that same direction, but even more specific. Boring Jack introduced me to it. It's the high limit video poker bar at Resorts World. Great cruise there, fun drinks. That's my favorite part too.
Moving slightly further north, we have Fountain Blue Las Vegas. Josh, what do you think about Fountain Blue?
So it's a casino floor for me. And I love the light. I love the blue color. I like the vastness of it. It's fun to look down from the second floor. So it's the overall just kind of, I guess it's vastness of the casino floor, but just the feel of it. I really do like that space.
Yeah, I said modern design. I don't love the blue hue, even though blue is my favorite color. I don't love that hue that's over the whole property, but it is a very cool modern design for a property. I think in some ways it works really well. In other ways, not as good. We've talked about how there's a lot of just like random corridors you can end up walking down for no apparent
Right.
reason, that there's nothing there, but it is a really cool design. So I give Fountain Blue credit for that. My second place option was going to be the spelling of their name.
As your
very
favorite
unique.
thing.
Yeah, very unique.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't like a place that you have to spell the name. You have to get like Google to
Fontaine
find the right
Bleu.
spelling. And yeah.
No, I got you. Talking about places that don't have a lot going for you, Josh, what about Sahara, Las Vegas?
My favorite thing about Sahara, the best thing. Why don't you go first, Chris?
I struggled a little bit. The fact that they're still open is great.
Yes. Yep.
I'm very glad that they're still open. I know some people had indicated a couple years ago they were about to close and they fought against that. So good for you, Sahara. Way to stay open. I would say, Josh, they're a good value for their location.
What I had, Chris, was that they have done renovations relatively recently with all this kind
Okay.
of rebranding and things that, a fairly good amount of things are kind of fresh and newish.
Oh, yeah, because they tried to be SLS for a
Right.
little while.
And
and-
now they're back to the Sahara,
Yeah,
or
so
Grand
good for
Sahara,
them.
or
Yeah.
whatever. Right.
Way to go, guys. Keep renovating. Okay, Josh, the last property that I have on the northern side of the strip, the Strat. What would you say is your favorite part about the Strat?
So when Chris and I were talking about this topic, I said you can't say the
The
security
armed
guards.
security guards out
Yeah,
front?
you can't say that as your favorite part of the Strat.
The doors as they are behind you as you leave?
Now, I was thinking about, because you said Top Golf for MGM, proximity. I was thinking about Lovett Frozen Custard is nearby. That
It
could be
is.
my
That is
favorite
true.
thing about Strat. But no, I'm gonna be serious. My favorite thing is it Rouge?
The show that we saw there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's my favorite
Yeah,
part of the Strat.
Okay, I got you. It wasn't a great show in my eyes. I didn't
Just
tremendously
my
enjoy
favorite
it.
part. We're just talking favorite part of
Okay.
the Strat here. It's a low
Yeah.
bar.
I mean, for me, Josh, I would say it is the tallest structure in Vegas.
Yes.
So the views that you get from on top of the Strat up there, pretty darn cool if you've been up there.
They are. I'm not going to say they're roller coaster or the rides up there because I've never done them. So
No, I haven't done any of that sort of stuff, but I have been on top of the Strat, on top of the
Right,
world or whatever
right.
they call it up there. Some pretty cool views.
there we go.
Okay, Josh. So I think that wraps up the strip. We've hit all the things that we love at all the different properties. I'm sure another time we'll talk about off strip and downtown. But I did want to ask you, as just a culmination of everything we just discussed, what is your favorite one thing at a property in Vegas? If you had to just say, this is the ultimate one thing that somebody does, or the best part of it, what is your favorite out of all those things?
So are you talking about like the most important thing is the location of the table games? Are you thinking about one? Because just pick a
No, I'm
casino
thinking
and
out
pick
of-
my favorite.
I'm
Favorite
thinking
part.
out of all the properties that we just talked about and all the best things that each offer, what would be like the number one thing out of all those properties you would rank above everything else? They just do it the best. They're better than
Right.
everybody. It's the coolest thing. What's number one?
It's actually not even something that was on my list, Chris. It was on your list, and when you said it, I was like, "That's it." It's the level of service at Wynn. It's,
Okay.
To me,
I mean,
that
That
is it.
probably what I would say is number one as well. It's just so head over heels past everybody else. It's not even an argument that could be made. I don't think any other property could make the argument that their level of service is at Wynn's.
right.
But I think with a lot of things that we talked about, balconies and vibe and location and all that, people can make arguments about each individual property. Like, oh, no, this one's better than
Yeah,
this for that
yeah, for
reason.
sure.
Even like Venetian Palazzo food, somebody could come in and say, no, I really like the food at Caesar's better because
Right,
they have this,
right.
this, and this. I can't see anybody ever making an argument that the service level is better than what it is at Wynn.
No, and not to say, you can have bad service anywhere. There can be somebody that's
Sure.
having a bad day or a bad employee at Wynn, but overall, they care so much. They train their employees so much, or they pick the right people so well. That just the service that you get overall, everything Chris said it all is hands down the best.
Okay, well, after the break, we'll answer a couple listener questions and spin the big wheel, so stick around. Josh, Zorkfest 2025, tell me all about it.
Well, I've been told it's just the right amount of loyalty and comps. Did you
Just
know that?
the tip. Just the tip.
Just the tip, just the perfect right amount.
That's
so
right.
anyway, Zorkfest is coming up. It's going to be at the M Resort this year, which I'm super excited to go to. I've never been to M, so I'm excited to stay there, play there. It's going to be December 5th through the 7th, 2025. Really fun weekend. One thing I did want to mention, there's still some tickets available for Coffee Dice, which I
Ooh,
believe
yeah.
is going to be Sunday morning. So get your tickets. It's going to be a lot of fun. Coffee Dice is always one of the big hits of the event. We had 2 tables last year, so go ahead and get those tickets. And then we're going to have a Friday night reserve craps table for our patrons too. So, and those tickets I think will go on they're not going to be on sale, but they're just be available, I think, August 1st-ish or so. But get tickets for Coffee Dice because that is filling up. Really excited for Zorkfest. Hope to see everybody there. We'll have some surprise guests. Who knows who might show up?
Ooh, so if you want to get on over there, get signed up, get your tickets and all that good stuff taken care of, head on over to zorkfest.com. That's ZORKFEST.com. JoshVideoPoker.com is now an official sponsor of the Crap Vegas podcast. For those that aren't familiar, VideoPoker.com is the ultimate destination for video poker players. With paid memberships, you get exclusive training tools, real-time feedback on the plays that you're making, the most popular game variations out there. Whether you're trying to fine-tune your strategy or just take your game to the next level, VideoPoker.com has you covered.
You've heard Chris and I talk about it before this even came about. We love it for training. I mean,
Absolutely.
I'm on it almost every day trying to train myself on stupid Ultimate X.
I have been too recently.
Exactly.
It's really cool because it will tell you, like, you've made the right decision on 87 out of 100 hands.
Right.
And it tells you exactly what you should have done if you make a mistake when you're making your choices. It keeps all that information historically for you so you can kind of go back and see how things are going. Josh, it's just a really good tool if you're going to be a serious video poker player. And as I start to get into it more, I feel like if I'm going to do this, it's like blackjack basic strategy. I need
Right.
to know the best plays so I can eliminate the house edge as much as possible.
That is exactly right. I've been doing it almost nonstop on 3-line Ultimate X, and you can choose when you're going in and configuring your games. You can say, I want to play Ultimate X, I want to play double. I'm playing in a machine that's going to give me 9-5 or 8-5
Yep, you can
or
choose
whatever
the
it
pay
is.
table that you
Right,
want.
all that stuff.
Yeah, you can choose all that stuff. It is 100% customizable once you get into the paid higher levels of the plans. And even if you don't want to pay for it, I understand that. They have a free membership. You got to watch a couple ads before you get into the game. Still worthwhile doing at the beginning, and maybe you'll see, okay, this is something I like, so I want to upgrade. But either way, if you're ready to play over there, we'd love for you to go over to crapvegas.com/poker to sign up and start improving your edge today. Listener questions. We got an email from Nathan. He said, hey, Chris and Josh, one of my favorite parts of any Vegas trip is planning it. And I love hearing you two talk through your upcoming plans on the show. So I thought, why not flip the script with a new show segment, Josh? It's called Crap Vegas Plan My Trip.
Ooh, I like it.
Okay, he's going to
like
go
it.
first. He's going to be our first candidate on here.
Okay.
I'm heading out to Vegas in mid-October for a convention. He's going to get in on Monday around noon, fly out Thursday around the same time. The conference is at the Venetian. Sessions run Tuesday and Wednesday from 9 to 4 with an after party Wednesday night that goes from 9 to midnight. I'm trying to be a responsible business owner and not break the bank with the travel, but I have my personal money for fun. Here's a little about how he travels, Josh. He's a fairly seasoned Vegas visitor, and on work trips like this, he usually stays on East Coast hours, so he's just like me. He doesn't try to adapt to these
Right.
crazy Vegas times. He's usually up early, grab some coffee, maybe sneak in a quick gambling session, head back to the room, get through emails, get ahead of work, back home. Likes to walk a lot. He's like you. He'll rack up miles just strolling the strip and soaking it all in. And during the day, he's prone to even popping in and out of a convention for a pool break if he wants to, for a quick hit of fun. He's not a huge foodie, does enjoy a memorable meal. He likes shows. He's seen Atomic Saloon. He's seen Penn and Teller, Zombie Burlesque, super duper double thank you for Zombie Burlesque, he said, Josh. I really like that. He's pretty much game for anything. Now the hotel situation. Somehow I got a totally free room at Fontainebleau. No resort fees, no taxes, the whole thing comped, which is crazy because I'm a total nobody to them. I'm still half expecting it to disappear. That said, I'm pretty open to staying anywhere, especially since he's kind of burned out on the Caesars properties and MGM ones tend to leave him underwhelmed. Recently, he's explored all strip properties, staying at the JW Marriott, visiting Red Rock, Palms, even Rio. Before the Fontainebleau offer popped up, he was actually set on booking an off-strip property. Usually gets around on foot with an Uber, but if you recommend an adventure that needs a rental car, he would go for it. So that's the trip. He'd love to hear us plan his trip, where to stay, what to do, where to play or eat, and he promises to report back. Thanks and keep the great episodes coming, Nate. So Josh, you're an expert at this. You're in Vegas more than anybody that I know. You're there pretty much 2 weeks a month. You stay at different places.
Pretty much, yeah.
Sometimes you have a rental car, sometimes you don't. How would you set him up knowing he's got this conference and it's midweek?
So Nate, thanks for reaching out. And I love this idea as a segment. We'll be your trip planners.
Yeah, we're travel guides. That's what we do.
Yeah. If you've got a rental car and you haven't gone to the pinball museum or Hall of Fame, whatever it's technically called, that's one thing that I would say go do. It's fun to go do. It's super cheap.
Yes,
I would say
absolutely.
do that.
You can take $10 and spend the whole day there if you wanted to.
Yeah, well, 20. It depends on how good a pinball player you are.
Well, I'm pretty awesome at pinball, Josh. Just don't
There
take
you
any
go.
kids with you because they'll get yelled at.
They will get yelled at. I love that. Let's see. So I'm trying to figure out how to plan your trip on the fly here.
Hey, where would you let him stay, Josh? If he has a convention at Venetian Palazzo, and yes, he has a free room at Fountain Blue with no resort fees or anything, but he's got rooms available at MGM and Caesars. He's just kind of burnt out. But what would you do there?
Well, yeah, I mean, I would say take the room at Fountain Blue, especially if you haven't stayed there. The rooms are new. They're cool. They weren't my favorite, but a lot of people really do like them. And I would say stay there. I mean, if you've got the room, there's nothing wrong with staying in Fountain Blue. I have found the casino to be not my favorite to play in usually for table games. I really do. You know, we love all the vibes at the high limit room at Palazzo. I think that's fun to play in.
Here's what I would say on the room side, Josh. You know me, I don't typically recommend this, but I think in his specific scenario, I would actually double book. I would take a room at Fountain Blue that I would sleep in at night because it is a newer property. So probably more comfortable beds and better amenities.
Yeah.
But then I would take like a Caesars property. I'm thinking maybe I would lean Planet Hollywood just because it's my favorite place to play. And they got some decent dining options there. You can
I'm trying to think of something close to Venetian too.
But I was going to say it's a little further away from Venetian. So maybe you could even go up a little further to Paris. Or if you want to go super far up, you could go to like Cromwell and do that. But I would double book my room with a Caesars room, take advantage of a Caesars offer you have going on. And there's no reason to give Fountain Blue your play because you don't think that the offers are going to continue there anyways. And I don't even know if you really want the offers. So just choose a Caesars property and play down there and eat down there and stuff. But then at the end of the night, you can just drive back up to Fountain Blue and then you're close enough to the convention so that you can pop in and out as you need to.
Yeah, I like it. And if you haven't seen it yet, you mentioned Atomic Saloon. I would say for anybody that liked Atomic Saloon, I would say go and see if you haven't Absinthe.
Yeah, you definitely should see Absinthe if you haven't seen Absinthe before. I think Josh gave you a couple good options there on other things entertainment-wise. Josh, I'm trying to think if there's any other show I would recommend that's kind of in the area along the same sort of veins. Maybe do a burlesque show if you liked. If you really like zombie burlesque, there are plenty of options out there of other ones. I think number 2 on my list for burlesque shows would be Fantasy at Luxor. I think my only problem with it is it's at 10 o'clock. And so if, as an East Coaster, staying up till effectively 1 a.m. is very hard for me. So that can make it difficult.
No, I would say if you're with some, I can't remember what you said, Nate, as far as you're there for the convention. Did he say he's pretty much going to be by himself or is he with other people?
It seemed that way.
Okay. I was going to say Empire Strips Back over at Rio as a burlesque type show, but that's less fun by yourself, I think. That's more of a group.
I don't think I could go to a burlesque show solo, Josh.
Yeah.
I feel like I'd feel a little bit slimy. There's other words I would use, but we're going to keep
go
this
to
as clean
Atomic
as it can be.
Saloon by yourself. Sit in the church pew rows.
Oh
and see what
yeah,
happens.
no, I think you can do stuff like that. I mean, I've done plenty of shows
I was
in Vegas
kidding,
solo.
but yeah, no,
but I wouldn't do a burlesque show solo. I
Right.
think I would get some looks.
And no front row at any of the Spiegel World shows if you're by yourself. Probably not a good.
Any other restaurant recommendations, Josh, you think we should share? I definitely think if you have a rental car, you need to go up to Love It Frozen Custard.
Yes,
it
and I
really
was serious
is
about
worth
that,
the trip up there. It is so good. It really is. Just, I don't know. I mean, just drive around, do a couple circles around the area first, just to make sure everything feels safe.
Yep.
And if you see a cop there, absolutely go.
We're
with
not
the cops
kidding,
there.
by the way.
No, I'm not joking at all. I think that's a good recommendation. Any restaurant that we haven't really talked about on this show, Josh, that you think he should check out while he's in town? We usually
Not
talk
one that
about
we
the
haven't
good ones
talked
that we
about.
love a lot.
Yeah. Did you say, Nate, that you had been to Delmonico? If you haven't, I'd say that.
He didn't.
Okay.
Yeah, I would recommend
Easy.
Delmonico.
Yeah. And you can go for lunch. I mean, I raved about that burger I had. And
That's what I was going to say. I mean, I think if you're going to do a place like that, especially if you're by yourself, go at lunch, sit at the bar, get one of their burgers. Absolutely get the banana cream pie. It's the best thing that they do. I don't care what Josh says. It's amazing.
there we go.
Okay. Anything else we should share with them, Josh?
No, thanks, Nate. If we think of anything else, we'll say it on the next show. Let us know how your trip
Absolutely.
went.
Please do. We got an email from Derek. He said, I know you guys are big fans of You Can Bet on That, and we absolutely are. They have been doing a lot of blind rankings recently. So, Chris, I want you to give Josh a blind ranking, ignoring table limits and comps. He wants you to rank these places on where you would just like to play there at a craps table, Josh. So don't worry about the comps that you're getting on the back end, or
Right,
if you'd have to
just
stay in the
where I wanna
hotel.
play.
Table limits don't matter. I'm just going to give you 5 properties randomly, and you got to rank them 1 through 5, with 5 being your least favorite
Right.
property that you would be at, and 1 being the absolute favorite place to play craps at. Are you ready?
And I only get to use one number once, right?
That's right. You only get to use it once.
All right.
Okay, here we go. The first one I'm going to give you, the Orleans.
It's going to be down. 1 is the worst, right?
1's the best.
Oh,
5's
1's the best. 5 is the worst.
And we played at the Orleans together.
Yes, we have.
We have some. We
I'm
have
just
some
trying to
solid
figure out if
memories
there's
there.
what might come below Orleans.
Yeah,
I'm
you
gonna
don't
go
know what
ahead
else is
and-
coming.
I know. I'm going to go ahead and say 4.
Okay, locking in the Orleans at 4. Okay, next on our list, Josh, we have Planet Hollywood.
Planet Hollywood, I'm going to say 3. Feel comfortable with that.
Okay, Planet Hollywood at 3. That's a good choice, I think, potentially. Okay.
I like the dealers there. I like the location, but sometimes the vibe isn't exactly me.
Okay, I got you.
Yeah.
Okay, how about this? How about Excalibur?
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh. You got to be careful. Everybody puts the first couple ones in the middle, and sometimes that's not the best
I
play.
know. What did I put it for? Orleans.
You have
All right.
Orleans at 4, Planet Hollywood at 3, and now you have Excalibur.
All right. Well, I'm going to have to put Excalibur at the bottom at 5, I think, hoping that there's something good coming.
Okay, Josh, the next one that I have up on my list, Park MGM.
It's going to slot right into the number 2 hole.
It's going into the 2 hole. Has nowhere. I mean, Josh, we've played at Park MGM together before
Yeah.
multiple times. We played with patrons. I know listener Eric and his wife love.
Yes. Yeah,
is-
absolutely.
Yeah, I know they like
Yeah.
playing there a lot, don't they?
Yeah, they sure
I'm
do.
not making that up, am I?
And no, you're not making that up.
Okay,
and I'm
good.
and I don't think 2 is a bad. I mean, if maybe I'll re-rank it after I know what's number 1 and
Well,
see.
it is non-smoking. I mean, we've
Right.
talked about that on this
Yeah.
episode. That's a huge
Yeah.
plus. Okay.
All right, what's
The
number
final
1?
one, Josh, your default number 1. It's always scary leaving the number 1 for last.
It is.
I don't know how you feel about this, but number 1 on your list, Encore.
Oh, all right. Out of all of those, I would probably. Okay, so for a re-ranking, I'd probably put Orleans at the bottom.
Mhm.
I'd probably follow it up by Excalibur.
Mhm.
Then we had Planet Hollywood and we had Park.
Planet Hollywood, Park, and Encore, your last
I
three
think
there.
I'd probably I'd put Park at 3, Planet Hollywood at 2, and I think I'd still keep Encore at 1, even though I'm not crazy about Encore craps.
Ooh, yeah, see, I've talked about my experiences at Encore before. I think Encore, they couldn't rise above number 3 for me.
See, I think you
even
still
if I
get some
knew.
dealers that trickle over from wins sometimes. I've
I
had some
don't love
decent
the dealers at
experiences
Encore.
there. All right.
I mean, they're very good at what they do. They're just not as friendly. I don't like the vibe playing at the tables over there.
But you get
It's
the
just-
scenery.
You do get the scenery, but it's definitely not number 1.
So,
But I
okay,
thought
so
that would
where's
be-
your, it's not blind, but where's your ranking of those?
If I was putting those, I'd go Planet Hollywood number 1. I would go Park number 2. Then
Okay.
Excalibur 3, Encore
Ooh.
4, Orleans 5.
All right, so we're pretty different there.
Yeah,
Oh,
are
that was
very
fun. I
different
like
there.
that.
So there's your blind ranking. Thank you, Derek, for the email.
Yeah, thank you.
Patreon. That's patreon.com/crapvegas. What do we have new over there, Josh?
Well, last week over on Patreon, well, of course, we have our weekly shows, our Fading Crap Vegas, our sports betting shows. Those are a ton of fun. You should definitely fade us a lot of the time, especially in college. NFL, we're not too bad.
Don't fade
Kinda
us in the
solid.
pros. That's not a good
don't
idea.
fade us there. They're a lot of fun. People really enjoy listening to us talk about the games, whether or not they follow our advice. That's probably the best way to go, is to not follow it.
Josh, you say not to follow us, but on the pro side, we are both very positive, and our lock of the week is 4-1 in the first 5 weeks.
That's a good point. And my super duper duper lock of the week, which if you're not a patron, you have no idea what that is, but I'm
What
2-1.
is that? And Chris's is 3-1. So, I mean, if you just stuck to our locks of the week, you would be absolutely killing it.
That's right. Anyway, also over on Patreon, this last show, we did a long form discussion on casino offers and really all the types of offers that come out, regular mail, email, web, all that kind of stuff, what we think about different offers, how they change, all that kind of thing. So we talked for half an hour or so just on offers. It was really a lot of fun.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. Big thank you to those that signed up the past couple weeks. That's Mike, Stephanie B with an annual subscription,
Thank you, Stephanie.
and Mark R with an annual KCS subscription. So thank you to you 3.
Thanks so much, Mark.
And Josh, we are down to 24 entries left in our Survivor contest. Last time I think we recorded one of these episodes, we had like 70 something. It's been a rough couple weeks in the NFL.
I will have you know that I'm still alive in Tim from the Better Life's Survivor pool. So I've still got one
Congratulations.
going over there. Yeah.
You're not in ours, I know that.
Nope.
Neither am I, don't worry. Upcoming trips, Josh, as we said, this is a time paradox episode. You and I are in Vegas right now as this episode's coming out, but I know that you have at least 7 more trips planned to Vegas before the end of the year.
Yes, in addition to this one, and if you are a KCS patron and you heard this on Friday, you still have time to meet us and play some dice at Venetian. If you're listening to this in real time for the rest of our listeners, you probably can't make it to Coffee Dice in time, but we are currently at the tables as this episode drops. I'll also be there, I think, for F1 weekend. I'll be in Las Vegas having a good old time. And then also for Zorkfest, just a couple weeks, or not even a couple weeks, a week and a half or something after that is Zorkfest, December, 3rd through 5th? 5th through 7th?
I don't know, listen to the ad. It's on there.
Yeah, I think it's December 5th through 7th is Zorkfest.
Okay. Friendly reminder to subscribe and leave a review on your favorite podcasting app and visit our merch store. That's crapvegas.com/shop. Josh, it's time. We've made it to the end. We better spin the wheel.
All right, Chris, we'll do a couple quick wheel spins here. Here we go.
It's time to spin the Crap Vegas Big Wheel. Are you ready? Josh, spin the wheel.
Oh, Chris, this is just a quick one, but the wheel thought it was worth mentioning. Dolly Parton had to cancel her residency or postpone it, I
was
guess.
super sad to see that, but at the same time, I was super excited because it made me feel much better about not booking this massive trip to get out there for that weekend and trying to like force it all together and get all the puzzle pieces to come together.
Yeah.
So I'm glad I didn't do all that to be like completely heartbroken if she canceled.
But it's unfortunate. We hope, obviously, we're wishing for the best for Dolly, and I hope that she makes a recovery. I think her plan to come back is September of 2026. So maybe we can make it happen then. Maybe we'll become Caesars players and they'll get us tickets.
Ooh, or we just become big enough players like you so that we just ask our Venetian Palazzo host or Win host and they'll get us tickets.
That could be too. All right, that was it. Just a really quick wheel spin there. Let's do one more.
Okay.
Oh, Chris, here's one of the guess the convention, guess the location
Oh, I
one.
love these, Josh. I'm usually so good at them.
You are. This one, it's not an acronym. It's just a name.
Okay.
It's PsyCon.
Okay. So that's like PSYCON?
PSYCON, right.
Okay, that's the only thing I could think of. So some sort of psychedelic conference.
You got it. That's it.
Oh, that's it?
Nice.
Yes. Hey.
It is the premier conference and trade show for the booming psychedelic industry.
Okay, so are we talking about like psychedelic drugs?
Yes, mushrooms.
Oh, cool. I didn't know that was a blooming industry.
It is.
Okay, good.
Where do you think it might be? You'll never get it.
Oh, no. I feel like it's not big enough to be on the strip. So I'm going to choose an off-strip property. So I'm going to choose the Las Vegas Hilton.
Well, that's a reasonable guess. It might actually be big enough. I don't know how big it's going to be, but I know it's at the World Market Center.
Oh, okay.
You know that
so
building,
I definitely
right?
wasn't going to get that right.
Huge building with no windows.
Yeah.
So they're
well, good for them.
Yeah. So it's October 16th through 18th at the World Market Center. This is as I said, the psychedelic industry PsyCon. And Chris, you've got some seminars. There's one called Microdosing 101, Science and Neuroscience of Psychedelics.
I was about to ask you, so who are the visitors to this convention, Josh? Are these like mental health professionals?
Well,
or just like recreational drug users? I mean, who's coming to this thing?
Looking at what's on the agenda, Chris, I think it's a mix. I think you've got the people that are really into like the magic mushroom kind of thing. Then you've got mental health professionals. You've got, serious stuff about how, using those kind of things can help with PTSD or, those so some kind of serious topics. But then you've also got the psychedelics of kink.
Oh,
and you've got working.
Now we're talking.
Working therapeutically with erotic feelings in psychedelic assisted therapy.
Oh, I feel like I need to buy a ticket to this conference now that you told me that.
It's both some things that I kind of can poke a little fun at, but some serious things. But anyway, PsyCon. There you go.
Okay. Well, if anybody goes to PsyCon, shoot us an email. That's podcast@crapvegas.com. Let us know how it went. Josh, anything else before we get out of here?
That's it for today. I'm excited about our Vegas trip, and I hope we had a great time. One of us, we how many royals have we hit? What did we decide?
Over under of a half. So I guess you're shooting for 1. I'm thinking it's going to be 0.
I was going to put the over under at 1.5.
I am hoping that you and I are in a good mood when this episode officially releases, because that means we had a great weekend. We won some money. Well, here, better way to judge it. I really hope Chris is still in Vegas when this episode releases.
I was going to say the same thing.
Okay, well, this has been a ton of fun, guys. We appreciate you listening. Thank you so much, and we will talk to you soon.
Thanks for your support, everybody. Bye-bye.
Vegas, here we come.
Thanks for listening to the Crap Vegas podcast.
Have you ever been to Vegas?
Check out all our recent news and our Vegas trip calendar by visiting crapvegas.com.
See you in Vegas.
Do you want to say your favorite part or parts?
I don't know. You can choose. Favorite part?
No, you said part.
Favorite parts?
Perfect.
Would you like me to record it again? Here you go. I'll do it again.
Okay.
Hey, guys. This week, we talk all about our favorite parts of different Vegas properties. There you go. That's all you get. Patch it in, Josh.
Could you just give me a P, Chris? And then
I'll just give you the S for parts.
you see the Caesars properties have a head up over the MGM properties. And I'm trying to figure out what the head up is not right. What's the right?
Oh, fuck, Josh. I don't know. Do we need to figure it out?
No, it's fine. But I was trying to figure out what you're like, Caesars properties have a head up over the MGM properties. I'm like, I don't think that's the right thing.
Oh, fuck, I don't know.
Leg up.
You know,
That's what it is.
a leg up. Yeah,
up.
how about thinking ahead? I don't know. Here, you want me to re-record that so you
No.
can plop it in? Here, I got you.
Okay.
A leg up. And here's a second take. A leg up. A leg up. Leg. Up. Take whatever you want from there, Josh. You got it.
Got it. Perfect.
Perfect.